This Wednesday marks 12 years since our nation was shattered by the cowardly and savage attacks on innocent civilians by Islamic jihadists who flew airplanes into landmarks and forever changed the way we live. That morning is going to be frozen in time for most of us as we painfully remember each detail that we saw unfold before our unbelieving eyes. Only the Kennedy assassination comes close to having been such a moment in which our national soul was so universally punctured. Within hours, we knew that the attackers were Muslim radicals. We knew that their evil and godless deeds were coordinated by Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden. We committed our nation to remembering the victims and bringing justice to the plotters and killers. A year ago on Wednesday, another act of Islamic terror occurred in Benghazi, Libya. 4 Americans were murdered in a planned and orchestrated ambush of our diplomatic outpost there. Unlike the clarity of our resolve following the attacks on our homeland, the fog of Benghazi was created largely because our own government lied to us and diligently fought to cover up what really happened that night. It's impossible to cure any disease if you aren't honest about the symptoms. And in the case of Benghazi, it wasn't just that the government failed to tell us the truth, but rather that they went out of their way to manufacture a ridiculous story about a video being the reason for the attacks. President Obama would imply that it and other controversies were phony scandals, but the attack in Benghazi that left 4 Americans dead was not phony. Our insistence that as surely as we promised to find bin Laden, we would get to the bottom of what happened that night in Libya must continue. I hope we never forget September 11. For as much as it showcased the cowardice and animalistic behavior of the terrorists, it also showcased many wonderful and selfless Americans, firemen, police officers, first responders, and volunteers who gave their lives. If you wonder why terrorism can hurt us but never kill us, well, it's that September 11th is going to be remembered as one of America's worst days. But yet in the rubble of the Twin Towers and the Pentagon and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, we also saw Americans at their best, laying down their lives for others. As we reflect and remember this week, let's not dwell on the monsters who don't deserve the attention. Let's focus on the true heroes who do. From New York, this is Mike Huckabee. Good night, and God bless.